Okay, so again, goal today is to do 4 problems. We're going to take the derivative with respect to x on the quotient rule. That's what we're doing. So, okay, but let's kind of talk about the formula here that we have to have. It is the derivative of the numerator. So numerator, there we go. Derivative of the numerator times the denominator. So it's the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the derivative of the denominator. I'll just abbreviate, times the numerator. I ran out of space, I can't write all those words. And then all divided by the denominator squared. Denom squared. There we go. Power of 2.
The derivative of the numerator.
Yep, times. So, no, derivative of the numerator times whatever the bottom is.
Okay.
And then subtract the derivative of the denominator times the numerator, whatever the numerator is. And then this is all over the denominator squared.
Right of d over dx. Say.
What was that? Sorry, sorry, Isaac. What did you say?
No, we're on the right of over dx.
No, you don't have to write that. I'm just showing you the notation the book uses in case you're like actually looking at the textbook and you're like, what is this stupid d over dx thing they keep writing? It means derivative with respect to the letter. So I want you to get used to that notation so you're not lost if you get to like a Calc 1 course or a Calc 2 or whatnot. So I want you to kind of know the terminology they're going to use. So, question?
So, towards the end of x minus d over dx.
Of the denominator times the numerator.
Times numerator, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll abbreviate a little bit better when we get to the actual problems we're going to do. Okay, we ready to go to the actual examples?
One more thing. How long do you think it'll be before you can smell stuff like through your computer or a TV?
Weird question. Don't know.
Like 40.
I'd give it 10 years.
I don't know if I ever want to do that.
Because right now, it's farted and it's the most horrid smell they ever.
Sounds good. Muted him.
He's muted.
Muted. All right, moving on.
Wait, does he know that you muted him?
I don't care. All right, so let's move on. So first example here. Let's go with all right, x to the third plus 2x minus 7, all over. Let's go with x plus 10.
Dude, you should have done that a long time ago.
All right. So no. All right. Let's move on. All right. So okay. So actually trying this out on a problem here, we're trying to find the first derivative of this thing. It is a quotient. I can't simplify this thing because I don't know how to factor this thing apart. Working with this problem here, so here's what we have. Let's go with, so derivative of the top. So again, derivative of the numerator. So this is going to be 3x squared plus 2. That's the derivative of the top, right? Because again, you drop the power up front, subtract 1 off the power, and you add the 2 because we dropped the x off of it. And then the 7 would turn out to be 0. So that's the derivative of the top times the bottom. And then we're going to subtract the derivative of the bottom. Well, what's the derivative of the denominator?
1. X.
So it's 1. Yep, sorry. Got distracted over here. Sorry. Trying to see what everyone's kind of doing. I want to make sure. So I could see they're all holding up 1. So I was trying to look at what they were saying. I could see movement.
You muted all of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Well, that's the button that they have there. So they have a button, so it just says like mute. And I just clicked it. All right. So. All right. Okay. So again, we.
Doing, Ward?
What? Taking attendance.
Busted out the red pen.
Taking out attendance. So people joined. So yeah. So we got the derivative of the bottom. Now we take that times the numerator, which is this. And then that's all over the denominator squared. So x plus 10 squared. Okay, so there's your problem. Now, I know we can simplify. You could FOIL, you could distribute, you could, add and subtract the like terms on the top and get the bottom, FOIL the bottom out. I'm not going to do that here. I just want to see that you can set this up. Does that make sense? Can you get the setup? We'll do problems maybe more on Monday where we actually have to do all the steps all the way down. I just want you to see the first few steps of what you have to take. Derivative of the top times the bottom minus the derivative of the bottom times the top all over the bottom squared. Now, why I'm doing it this way? This quotient rule really relies heavily that you know how to do the power rule. That's why I did it for like 3 or 4 days in a row. Right? Why we did the power rule where you drop power up front, you subtract 1 off the power. Because if you can't do that rule, you will fail miserably at this because you have to do it everywhere, right? You have to do it on the top.
Fantastic.
And so that's why I spent so long trying to review that rule for you. Again, if you're at home, you have a question, just unmute yourself and try to ask a question or type it in the chat. I can see it then. So, all right.
They
Okay.
can also raise their hand. No, that's enough.
Yeah, the problem is I can't see everyone's name at once. So I wonder if I
There's
can,
like a
can I
button.
drag that box bigger?
There's a button called raise hand.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I know that. But the problem is the box I had for all the names was really tiny, and I can only see like 2 people at once. So, all right. Anyway, let's go to the second one. That was the first example out of 4. Remember, the fourth one is the one you're going to submit to me. All right. So, second example, same thing. I'm just gonna do the first step. Notice I'm not doing the whole problem out. I just want to set it up for the first time. Let's jump right in. Let's do another one. So let's go with x squared plus 9x minus 8.
Wait, so that was all for last one?
Yeah, we're just doing the first step. We're not simplifying it all the way out. I just want to get used to that quick way to set it up, and then Monday we'll really hammer down how do you finish out the problem. This is just the first baby steps. So, all right, on the bottom, let's go with 2x squared minus 6x. Let's just write that. Okay. So, going through the math here. I just want to get this problem set up. I don't want to finish it all the way out. I just want to do you know how to set up the derivative for the first time? So setting up the problem for the first time, we have to take the derivative of the top. What's the derivative of the top?
1x plus 9? I don't know.
2x plus 9.
Oh, dang it.
2x plus 9. I agree with that. Okay, 2x plus 9. Now again, why that is. I'm going to put this off to the side. You don't have to write this down. This is just why it turns out to be that way. We drop the power up front. You subtract 1 off the power. You drop the power out front. That's the 1 here. You drop it out front. And you subtract 1 off the power. And if they're a constant, you would drop the 0 out front. And that's why this thing goes away. And this ends up being x to the 0. So that goes away. So it's just 9 there. And then this turns out to be x to the 1 with a 2 out front. So that's the reason why this is turning out to be the way that it is. Again, you really have to understand that power rule, otherwise you're going to be really lost. That power rule is a shortcut for finding derivatives. So now, we're still not finished yet, so I'm going to get rid of that. We didn't need that. All right. Actually, I should leave that there. I should take a screenshot of that before I just erase it all. Okay. Okay, so now the times the bottom, so this is 2x squared minus 6x. Because again, remember, it's the derivative of the top times the bottom minus sign the derivative of the bottom now. What's that one going to be?
4x minus 6.
4x minus 6, good. Times the top. All over the denominator squared. There you go.
And that's example 2.
Yeah.
You ran out of room there on the sideboard.
Yeah, sorry. It was minus 8 back there.
I'm just trying to help you do better.
Okay.
Do better.
Or it's another translation. You're my favorite calc teacher.
Okay, we'll go with it. All right. We good with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, third one. Okay, third example now. Okay, all right. This one, let's actually focus on actually getting it down to a simple answer. Let's do that. I want you to at least see 1 or 2 of these. So let's get down to this. Is the third one. So let's go with x squared plus 5x plus 4, and we're going to divide by x plus 1. we're going to do the first derivative. Okay, first derivative. And I want to simplify this one all the way out. The other ones I was just doing that first step, right? The first baby step, set it up, we call it, and then we just, you know, like we would simplify it later. But this one, let's actually work all the way through. I've been kind of ignoring that to this point. I think it's kind of important. We probably should look at it. All right. So what do you think? What's the derivative of the top?
2x plus 5.
2x plus 5. Perfect. Times the bottom. Well, that's x plus 1. Minus the derivative of the bottom now. 1 times the top. And then we're going to all divide by x plus 1 squared. All right. Okay, so now I said on this problem, that's the derivative, right? On this one, let's actually simplify it. Let's actually go through all the math. Let's actually take a look at it. Going through the math here, so foiling that upper left corner, I get 2x squared plus 2x plus 5x plus 5. That's the upper left corner. The upper right corner, I'm just going to distribute the negative sign through it. It's distributing this -1 through this parenthesis. So that's minus x squared minus 5x minus 4. And this is all over. I'll actually FOIL out the bottom. The bottom is x squared
2x.
plus 2x plus 1. Oh, I found the spot where I can't write anymore. Plus 1. It's so weird why it chooses a spot. I need to shade that in when it stops doing that.
What's up?
iPads always have that dead spot where I can't write. You can see it right where I wrote the 2x. It wouldn't let me write the x right next to it on the bottom.
Why?
I don't know. It's just it was built into the iPad. I don't know why they have a dead spot where you can't write when you're recording it.
You
So-
buy a new one that also does
They all have that. I have multiple different iPad versions and they all have that same dead spot when you record.
Same place?
Yeah, it's the same spot. It's because it's where Steve Jobs held his finger supposedly on the screen when he was recording the first release of the iPad, so he wouldn't screw up the iPad demonstration. So they just created dead spots so it wouldn't cause any issues. So
Wait,
supposedly.
say that again?
When Steve Jobs was releasing the iPad back in 2009, they created a dead spot on the screen on the iPad, so when he held onto it with his hand, he wouldn't actually activate anything on the screen. So because it was causing errors and it would crash. So because the first version that they hold on screen usually doesn't work well. There's only a few things it can do. It's a dummy unit. It's not actually a real one. So
they continue that.
yeah, and you can tell because if you look in the corner, what's the date?
9/9. Yeah.
It's when they released it. That's the time when they released the iPad for the first time. They've kept it as an homage to him.
That's
So,
what happens when you record it.
mhm. It's always that way. So when I stop recording, it goes back to normal. It'll click, and you'll see it. So. All right. Anyway. All right. Yeah, kind of weird. Sorry, got lost in.
In the sauce.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, subtracting. All right. So 5x's cancel. The 4's cancel, or not the 4 cancel. Ooh, let's review that. The 5x is definitely canceled. The 2x is still left there, and the x squared. So the top is actually going to end up being 1x squared. That's 2x squared minus 1x squared. It'll have a 2x, and then 5 minus 4 is 1.
Ford, how are you so smart? You set this problem up knowing what it.
Oh my gosh, and then it.
And then when we simplify it, it all works out to be 1.
Does that do all of them work out to be one?
No, it's just this. I made this problem up in such a way that it would. Sorry.
Okay.
How did you know to set it up this way?
You got me all excited.
It was factorable.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
So, if you really want to see what I did in my head to make sure this thing was going to work out nice and pretty, if you factored the top and divided by x plus 1, it would have turned out to be x plus 4, and then the derivative of x plus 4 is 1.
That's okay.
So, all right. Anyway, that's what I did. Okay, but yeah, that's the derivative. All right. Next one. All right, this is the Google form question. This is the one everyone at home is waiting for. This is one that everyone here. You just want to get to that last fourth question. What is the derivative of it? So, all right. So here we go. All right. So, all right. X cubed plus 8x minus 16x. Let's go with minus, let's go with 128.
Did you mean to square that 8x?
Yes. Sorry, thank you.
Not two.
128.
And let's go with, I'm gonna kind of pick a smaller number. Let's go like x plus 8
Oh.
here.
That's retractable.
Yes, it is.
It is.
No.
It's too.
I think it should end up being like 2x plus 4 or something like that.
I'll take you right for it.
I think I know it's 2x something. So, all right. Anyway, let's kind of work through it here. So, derivative of the top. What do we get?
3x squared
3x squared,
16x
16x
minus 6.
minus 16. Okay. Yep. Minus or times the bottom. Sorry, times the bottom. Then you subtract the derivative of the bottom, which is 1 times the top. So that's derivative of the bottom times the top. All over. Oh, that was weird. All over the bottom squared.
It's really a challenge for you to write straight lines on the iPad, isn't it?
Super hard. I wish they would just give me line paper. Oh, actually, I could pick line paper. I'm an idiot. I could pick line paper. I just pick blank.
Wait, do not have, like, the first part you have 3x squared plus 16x minus 16. Oh, I wrote my problem wrong.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Oh, the 6. Where's the 128 at? I'm confused.
When we took the derivative of the top, the one, like, whole numbers cancel out to be 0.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. Yep, good question. All right. Any other questions? These are good. That was good.
Push myself
That
out
was
of the
dumb.
Oh, good questions. Sometimes you just got to catch those things. Okay, now if we simplify the top, I know this is not the prettiest thing. We simplify it all the way down. Here's what we have. We have to distribute the top. We have to FOIL the top. The top left corner, I know this is not pretty. It ends up being 3x cubed plus 24x squared, and then 16x squared plus 128x minus 16x minus 128. I think that's 8 times 16, right? Yeah, it's 128. All right. And so that's foiling that top left corner. And then I'm going to distribute this negative sign to the back over here. So this is minus x cubed minus 8x squared plus 16x plus 128
The ghost.
all over. And I'm going to FOIL this thing out. X squared plus 16x plus 64. Sorry, I just FOILed those two out in my head. Sorry. Question?
Why can't we just cancel out the x plus 8s?
Ooh, where's the x plus 8s? Oh, in that red part?
Yeah.
The reason why is that on the right side, they didn't have an x plus 8. If they had an x plus 8 over here, sure enough, you could have done it. Everything has to be, you'd have to pull out a common factor. You can only cancel out parentheses when they're all being multiplied. These are being added and subtracted on the top. Yeah, it's a good question. So yeah, if you didn't hear that, they're asking a question about canceling out the x plus 8s on that last line, the red line that we just did. You can't do it because the right side, the top right corner didn't have an x plus 8. So.
I wish I thought
All right, combining like terms, simplifying things down. Wow, this is a mess. The 128s are gone. Cool. 16x's are gone. And yeah, we have, we're gonna have 2x cubed. And then we have, what is that? A 24 minus 8. Oh, geez, there's a lot of x squares. 16 plus 24 minus 8.
Why'd you do it?
That's 32 x's. X squares. And then we have the 128x. Well, I did my math right there on the top. I have a calculator. I think I typed it in right. And then on the bottom we have x squared plus 16x plus 64. And the top and bottom are factorable. In fact, it's really factorable. In fact, it's so factorable, I already...
Plus 8.
Yeah, if I pull out a 2 and an x off the top, it's x squared plus 16x plus 64.
Jamie wants to start
And those cancel, and what am I left with? 2x.
That's not... The derivative of that?
Is 2x. That's the answer. Jamie's having issues trying to get logged in.
So all we need is 2x on Google Classroom.
Yes, that's your answer, 2x. All right. Now, we had page 87 that was due earlier right in the week. That was due, what, the 5th or something like that? Do we have a worksheet due tonight?
What?
Do we have a worksheet? Do we have anything? Or is it just 87?
Yeah, it was
It's
the
the
5
worksheet.
problems.
The 5-problem derivative one. Okay, that one you have to submit. So make sure that you're submitting that one to me. If you haven't already, that was the 5-problem worksheet that's due tonight, right? I think I got it from everybody except for Ryan, but granted, Ryan's been gone. So that was the,
Also was in quarantine.
yeah, so, yeah, but he has an excuse. He's been gone. He's been on vacation, so. Okay. We are done. So for those at home, if you've already entered 2x in your Google Classroom, you're good to go. Just make sure you had your homework submitted to me and you're good. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. You'll be here Monday. For you guys, we're done today unless you have questions. And I'll get to your question here in a minute. Homework's due tonight, so if you haven't submitted it, sounds like everyone did. And then also make sure that you're filling out the Google question even though you're here. So yeah. So Jamie, I'll post the video later. Thanks for being here. I think she already left. So she was having issues, kept kicking around. So she kept joining every couple minutes here. So. Yeah, Erica, you were right. Yeah, you could have factored everything up on that problem, so that's pretty good math you just did.
I didn't even realize that. I wrote this down to
So. Okay, but yeah, you guys can log out. I'll see you Monday. We'll do some more of this stuff on Monday, so don't feel like we're moving on. We gotta really hammer down some more of this stuff to make sure you guys are good. So. All right, what was your question? Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Sorry.
So for the assignment, there was one that we needed to show, like, how to do.
Yeah, just one.
Just one?
You just had to do the differential quotient on it. I probably picked the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone order the new iPhone today?
Oh.
The Max or the Mini? The shipping times slipped really far. Like they're December, I think now, shipping times. So I figured that was going to happen. That's why I didn't wait for the Max. So.
There you go. What's your opinion on the elections board?
I haven't seen it. I was really shocked. I think Georgia ordered a recount today, which is fine. They need to because it's really close. I was really surprised they turned blue. I think Biden's up by less than 2,000 votes or something like that. Pennsylvania is blue, I think, right now. So if they confirm that tonight, Georgia won't have to do a recount because he just needs one more state, I think. Because I think he took Nevada and Arizona by kind of bigger numbers, not something like a recount would fix. So.
No, I don't think he has Nevada yet.
He doesn't have Nevada. Okay, I didn't know. I haven't seen the news today, so.
Nevada doesn't count fast. It
No.
takes 15 years.
Yeah.
It's taken forever.
Yeah, and I applaud them. They're trying to do it right. They're trying to get their counts down because it is important. I'm just worried about what this is going to do. So, because I can only imagine the anxiety these candidates have. So, because it's literally coming down to like 2 states and they both count. So, okay. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys Monday when you're in class. For those who are online. For you guys, you'll be on Zoom, so make sure you're checking in Zoom on Monday. So, but yeah, I'm gonna log out unless you guys need my notes still.
I think they might recount Pennsylvania as well.
Will they? Smart. What's up?
Lord, just letting you know, Hank said it was fine that I came in Tuesday.
Okay, good.
He said a shortened day would be preferred, but if that's not possible, I understand. I'm like, I have Calc 8, so I can leave after 8, but that's about as short as it gets.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I'll be here. You guys know where I'll be found.
Sounds good. See ya.
Later, guys.
Mr. Ward.
Later. Good seeing you guys.
Wrong years now.